Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Spittin' Seeds. I am your host, Seed Person One, and this episode is number 14, tentatively titled Pain Management. I am having quite a bit of pain, so I will be managing that with this delicious joint here. And if we get into cannabis talk and pain relief and stuff like that, absolutely awesome, but uh, definitely not like a necessary topic if we have other things that people want to talk about. So let me get set up here. I need to get chat popped out. I got to get the link in chat. Y'all bear with me. You know how it goes. Make sure you're in live chat. What's up, Ice and I? Hang on, brother. I'm getting the link and everything set up here. Here's the link. There's the link. That's pinned and we're good to go. Yeah, so I was just saying, today is a pain day for me. I have something going on with my neck, and if it's not one thing, it's another, because it seems like my body is like a one of those fucking sliding block puzzles where like you can only move like one piece at a time, but there's always an open spot, and you shifting all these pieces around. It feels like my vertebrae are like that, where if it's like one vertebrae slides one way, then everything's fucked up, and then it'll shift and it'll be hurting in another place. Look at you. It's beautiful there, bro.
It is lovely today.
Yeah, getting out in the air.
Yeah, it's just taking the dog for a little wander.
Nice. And here comes Jace. Let me get him in here.
Yeah, it's looking quite
See, your cities are built around more accessible walking paths and things like that. Here in the
it's-
States, a lot of shit's like car oriented.
yeah. We have they like to ever since I think it was every this economic planet friendly business, we started putting in cycle paths, and we have these scooter parks and accessible electric bikes for everyone to use on a lot of the streets.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
if I
it's
wanted, sorry, go ahead.
no, you're right. Carry on.
I was just gonna say, there's a neighborhood that I drive by, and it's like a just houses, right? And then they were putting a grocery store in right next to it, like a big Publix, and the fucking Publix is up a hill, and then they built a big concrete barrier, and so you have to go get in your car. There's no sidewalks, there's no way to get to it. You're like, you can see it. You could throw a rock and hit the fucking store, but you have to drive or walk on the street with no sidewalk with all the cars to get to it. It's fucking
Yeah.
stupid.
The only problem is though when we're if you're in a city like myself, certainly because I'm now come out at sort of tea time, there's not that many people over here, but generally this is quite a little busy spot.
I want to say
You know,
welcome, Jace. I see you there,
we
brother.
we don't
You
have a
say
lot
so?
of free space in our country to
Yeah.
where you can sort of like go and be by yourself. There's always
Well,
going to be other people about.
y'all have the annual mass trespass, don't you? You ever heard of that?
Well, we don't
You
we
know,
don't have trespass law here.
right.
Well,
That's what I'm
we
saying, though.
do.
It's like y'all go
Yeah,
out
we do
once a
have a
year and walk
trespass
all the
law, but
public
it's
paths.
yeah, but there's there's uh, there's rules to trespassing a person, uh, and to actually be trespassing. Uh, uh, any sort of land, you know, you can pretty much as safely assume you can go on there if if you didn't climb over any fences or break your way into it. But if you can just access it, you're pretty much free to go on there. A
Right.
landowner, the only person that can remove you off the land, because the police can't even remove you off the land, it's only the landowner. And it's very hard to find a landowner where in a situation where he might just be going for a walk or whatever, and someone's like, "Oh, you can't walk down here; it's private land." Blah blah blah. You'll be like, oh,
Yeah,
whatever, and just carry on about your business and just ignore all that silliness. You're not doing nothing wrong.
right. And that
Yeah.
was like I read a book talking about the way that the laws are there for the common like the commoners or like the peasants in the old days would like be able to walk across and go through wherever, on the king's land or whatever. And like you have
Yeah.
the right to go walking around the countryside if you want to, even if it's somebody's property, as long as you're respectful. And like, yeah, they were that was cool. But I wanted to say welcome to Jace. I didn't want to leave you hanging there. How are you doing, bro?
Right on, just sitting back, catching the vibes here. What's going on? I was talking about tea time.
Yeah.
Bit of tea and crumpets.
It's tea time. That's I don't know what we call tea our evening meals.
Mm.
Yeah, it's not like a cup of tea.
No, I know. Yeah, yeah. It's tea
Yeah,
time.
or or
It's like a
yeah,
mid-afternoon thing,
yeah.
right?
It's
Yeah.
it's generally what we call our main meal of the day is tea time. Just sort of 6 p.m. around about that time. All the kids are home from school. Uh, People are finishing work. So yeah, and
Interesting.
generally, we were brought up on a three meals a day: breakfast, dinner, and tea. And
Interesting.
occasionally you might have supper.
What time
Supper
is
before
dinner
you.
at?
Dinner would be round about dinner time. What we say dinner time,
Yeah,
noon.
what noon? Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you come over for dinner, you will be early here.
Mm.
Dinner is 6, and then I don't, yeah,
Yeah. What we
supper is
call
like a
tea.
late night. Yeah, that's interesting, man. I didn't know that.
Or like a brunch, a lunch, a dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brunch is, something like, if you were working, you'd take a packed lunch or something like that, and you'd have your main meal when all your kids go to school, they come back and have their main meal when after the day is done. Yeah, and I don't know why we call it tea time. Maybe
Well,
it
I'll
is
tell
to
you
do
what,
tea.
I always imagine tea time over there is like the whole country shuts down at that point. Everybody stops what they're doing and they drink their tea.
Yeah.
And they have to be waving the Union Jack flag too while you're
Yes.
doing it with your
Yeah, we've
pinky
got to have
up.
the scones and crumpets as well.
Just like in Mexico, you take a siesta at noon, for your lunch or whatever your nap for lunch.
Yep. My wife's one of her favorite things that I make for dinner is cucumber sandwiches. And she's like, it
Really?
feels so dainty, like we're having tea. But I'm gonna have to tell her, yeah, we are having it for tea because that's this time of the day. That's what this meal is.
Tea
What
time.
kind of tea do you use over there, Ice?
I don't actually drink tea myself. I'm a coffee man. Uh,
Oh,
the only ever time I've ever really drunk tea is when I've been at Her Majesty's pleasure, should I say. Uh, and I have no other option. If I want something warm and wet, it's going to be tea.
Hmm. That makes, yeah, I got you. We made tea one time here in America. We made a whole bay full of it.
so to hell without your taxation without representation.
Oh man. What are you smoking on, Ice and
This one I'm smoking right now. This is Jealous Candy. I've got some hash in my pocket, or a
I?
hash joint
Nice.
in my pocket, which I'll probably sit down on a bench and smoke after finish this one, and after the other type business. But yeah, I've got the hash is old school, hard, solid aged imported hash. I just happened to purchase a little bit of it. Someone said they had it, and I was like, yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'll make a move back in a little while and give you an update on the room.
Awesome.
I had
Yeah,
a
your
Hermie
lights are
yes,
on today, huh?
yeah, I had a Hermie yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Pulled
Hmm.
it out.
Oh yeah, I saw
Oh
that.
yeah,
You should probably
yeah.
not
Yeah,
grow the goth
that
girl,
is
dude,
that is
because
one of the nicest
I
looking plants as well. It's frosty as.
Mm, hate that.
was gonna say if you grow the goth girl, no, there is a chance that I've had like
I
two
could,
people that got nanners on them.
yeah, I could have plucked them off. You know what I mean? But I'm like, that's week two. You're coming to the end of week two. I don't. No, that's being pulled out. It's probably dumped a few seeds in my shit now already because they were. I hadn't been going and checking every day like I should do. I'm like, oh, there's nothing there yet. You know what I mean?
If you
And
got
I just,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just assuming everything was all good. But yeah, I can't remember what I was doing, and I just spotted it out of the corner of my eye. And I'm like, you motherfucker! And I checked the whole. It was pretty much the whole couple of branches
Mm.
all the way up on every node. You know where you get that one silly sort of like colex that can turn into a seed sometimes, can turn into some nanas.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, they
Yeah.
just all opened up. They'd all opened up.
But you sound like me, like you're not playing around, you see something going on, you're not going to hesitate to toss it out. Of course, I mean,
Right.
I don't like to run at the first sign of trouble, but I'm quick to toss something out. I don't like to suffer through something.
And yeah, it weren't one of my seeds people. That was one of the greenhouse seed companies. So it's the first one I've had off them do that for, you know, yeah, all the time of the last 5 years. I've been running their stuff pretty solidly. That's the
Wow,
first one.
that's a pretty good run.
So
Um,
I think I spoke it up because I think it was might have been this show or another show. We were talking about Hermes and stuff, and I was like, I ain't had a Hermes for years.
the
Yeah,
universe had to come back
yeah,
at you, bro.
I put it out there, didn't I?
What is this? Roland Smoke says I live in a St. Louis suburbs, woke to yelling, and there was 5 goats in the backyard.
No.
That's crazy.
I woke up to two police cars outside my house, two ambulances, an air ambulance, and and loads of like these mobile medics and stuff, and pretty much it was all shut down outside my house. Right. What they're saying is, oh, someone's because I tried to go out and have a look what was going on, and I could see from my bedroom they're doing CPR in across the road from me in one of the neighbours' gardens. They were doing CPR on someone in the front garden.
Oh,
I'm
geez.
like, they were like, oh, it's just a medical thing. I'm like, if someone's had a heart attack, you don't send all this. You don't send, what are the police here for?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think something might have gone on. Maybe, yeah. Maybe his wife's done him in.
Oh, geez.
They're a bit
Yeah,
of a
that's.
strange couple.
We'll be interested for any. Speaking of tea, any updates on that? Do you know that expression, I said I? Sipping
No,
tea is like slang for gossiping.
no.
Mm.
We call it just, what do we call it? Yeah, we just call it gossiping, really.
I was trying to make a pun. That's all good.
Yeah, I find out on the wire, my neighbour will have all, you got them neighbours that know everything about
Mm-hmm.
everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep my next door neighbour is pretty sweet because she tells me everything. Sweet
That's
old
awesome.
lady, but she goes and speaks to everyone and finds out their business.
And she knows your business too,
So I think she because where I around my house, just I'm sort of surrounded by sort of crackheads, smackheads.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
So I'm looked at, oh, he smokes a bit of weed. He's not got lads rolling around in and out of his property doing all sorts of stuff, being really loud and
Mm-hmm.
robbing people. Because when you get all the crack and the smack, you get burglaries and
Yeah.
things like that go along with it.
Yeah.
And so I think when they look at me, I'm not a problem. So they're like, yeah, he keeps himself to himself. He's quiet. He's cool.
Just don't be the loudest person on the block. That's all, and you'll be
That's the
fine.
thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could with these people these crackheads and I ever seen Spice, these people on Spice stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. Just rolling around looking like, or just bent over looking like monkeys. And dragging their arms on the floor and just
Mm-hmm.
just walking around in crazy patterns, just looking for probably little crack rocks on the floor, but they just spend sort of like hours on end, just going round in circles, all doubled over.
Hmm.
It's crazy. But yeah,
Well,
England isn't. It's just the same. You know, we've got the same issues as everywhere else in the world. I would imagine. You know, where
yeah,
you got lots of people, you got lots of issues.
I want to shout out some names in the chat. G-Bay, Sky Overhead, Galaxy Solutions, Penny Pebble Ripplers, Supreme Grape, Captain Blackheart, Rolling Smoke said cut down 8 plants because of seed, couldn't find Herm. All you need is one, unfortunately. Um, Bark Dog the Grower, Captain Blackheart, Sky Overhead said, for me, Goth Girl, kind of hard to tell if they are intersex or not. I've had a lot of people come back with very good, happy reviews. Also had a couple people say they found nanners. So just keep an eye on them, which is what I've been telling everybody from the start. So, yeah, the Jeffro Sevens, Tie Sticks Loyalty Gardens is growing the Goth Girl as well. So we'll know. Captain Blackheart says Goth Girl soaking before soil. Damn, there's a lot of people growing it. That's awesome. It makes me happy. And um good people that will do it right and let me know what's going on, you know. And Jace as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get your genetics out there. Speaking of which, what is the future of Goth Girl? Are you going to keep going with it, or are you going to try something else, or what's the
Well,
future plans for breeding?
yeah, I'm gonna keep going with it. I'm gonna just keep taking it. Whenever I get some free tents or whatever, I'll do hunts and um, I'll probably keep them and make sure that I'm trying to get that intersex trait out. And hopefully it's not tied to the black leaf, genetic expression because that's what I like the most about that plant. So, yeah, and those, but I got some other ideas for some crosses that I want to do when I get to Colorado. So it'll be a lot of different things, hopefully coming out, by the end of the year. Um, at least
Yeah, because
more goth
you
girl
were
like
do-
the F2s, and then I don't know if I want to do like I got two different ideas and I don't know which one's better.
yeah, because you were doing something right before you were about to head out, but you had to shut it down, didn't you?
Hmm.
Some breeding experiments.
Yeah, that was I had the white maple male crossed to a bunch of different things, the flapjacks. I was looking for the maple syrup terps, and that's one of the ideas that I had. I have a whole bunch of shit that's maple syrup. People sent me a bunch of stuff, and then I got like 10 blueberry pancake femmes from the Humboldt Seed Company that supposedly have that terpene profile in there. So I was gonna maybe do a maple syrup hunt again and see, but yeah, I don't know yet.
Solid. Yeah, I knew you had that flapjack. I haven't had
I
that blueberry pancake. I've had blueberry. I just grew blueberry muffin, and I've had shit. What's the other one? Um, blueberry cupcake. That's the other one by Humboldt. Yeah, they
mhm.
have three blueberries. That'd be good though. I know you really like that flapjack. Were you able to save some seeds from that?
I got two flapjack seeds left from in-house genetics, and then I have one bag seed that came out of the very last nug of flapjacks #1 that I smoked. And just one random seed in the very last nug, so I saved that.
It was meant to
Um,
be.
I also got one seed out of the last jar of 9 pound hammer that I grew. So I might grow that as well.
Yeah, that's another one I need to get on. 9 pound
Just
hammer.
that's for the medicinal. Um,
Pain
yeah,
management.
yeah, pain management. That's right. And yeah, I fucked my neck up somehow, and it's not fun. So I've been smoking. I actually ate half a gram of blue meanies just for the muscle relaxation that I get from it. And hopefully that'll start kicking in here. But yeah, I've been smoking hash that I made. I don't even know. It's purple panty
You play some on
dropper.
too, brother? You play some on up too? Got to
Oh
be
yeah,
done with it.
got the community smoking up over there.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I got some PPD hash and some cement shoes. Hash that I'm smoking on just because it's what I got. But the cement shoes is pretty good. That was like a white label version of that strain though, so I wouldn't say that it's, you know, the original one.
I mean, that's pretty much all you see nowadays is white label. I mean, it's hard to get it from the original breeder exclusively. I mean, it's been handed down. Everything's been handed down at some point.
Yeah. No, that's why you got to make your own shit. Don't get somebody's off, off brand shit. I mean, if it's somebody's I sent Artman the Flapjacks #3 because I liked it so much and it was so tasty and frosty and like I wouldn't if somebody has like a cutting that they really really like maybe try it, but if it's named something you don't necessarily know anymore. Also, you can go get like fucking like the same strain from seed from like 8 different companies and grow them out, and they'll none of them will be the same.
Yeah, so that's wild. I mean, you talk about preserving genetics, they get washed out so much.
That's why you guys should go contact Caveman for some testers and yeah, he's got some old school shit. What up, Caveman? I see you in chat. So Jace, did you get pain relief since we're talking pain management a bit today from your gummies?
Oh
Or
yeah,
did
for
it
sure.
what kind
That
of pain relief was it just like to help you sleep or did it actually like make it looser or did you feel like it was numb or anything like that? Like specific pain relief type?
I just think it overall just made it feel more tolerable to where I wasn't feeling like I was about to lose my mind every second of the day. You know, it just takes it down a few notches, and they had me on some pills too. And I would kind of alternate because I mean, there's some things that cannabis can't touch as far as pain, so you got to revert back to those pills. But I hate doing that, but they're there for a purpose and
Taking the
serve their purpose.
benzos.
No, it was gabapentin.
No, fuck them.
My cat's on gabapentin right now.
Yeah,
It seems
I
to
don't
help.
yeah, they're not good for you cellular wise. Like the benzos, you do that's a natural compound that your body will actually make. You know, with synthesized it or whatever, but your body can deal with it. Whereas the other ones like the gabapentins and stuff, they're a little bit harder on your liver and things like that,
Mm.
and maybe your stomach lining.
My wife had a problem with her wrist that she broke years ago that just flared up randomly, and we ended up having to take her in to get some pain medication, and they put her on some steroids, and those steroids, man, they fucked up her stomach bad. Like,
Yep.
so
Which
definite. There's always side effects of shit.
is they cause so many other problems. Like when you fuck up your stomach, you then sort of like open your body to all these invaders of stuff that shouldn't be getting into your bloodstream and stuff. And then you get an inflammatory response, which they'll give you some more anti-inflammatories, which will then cause more of the said problem. It is
Hmm.
crazy. It is crazy.
I was talking to a woman yesterday. She was telling me she works in genetic stuff, but she was talking to a veteran who was starting a company to look at PTSD in the blood, and he was able to actually like show that it's a lot of it is an inflammatory response, and like if you're stressed out, your body is going to release these chemicals or whatever, and you can look at it in the blood, and then you can do therapies and things, and then look at it again and see that it's actually dropping, and know that, you know, these things are working. And I thought that was really fucking cool. And that it's all seems to be like just an inflammation. It's all inflammation. Your body's responding to, you know, the stress in your mind with inflammation. It's causing all these health issues and shit.
That's the root cause of most disease, or
Hmm.
how I like to say it is dis-ease. Yeah, because you're
Yep.
not at ease. Body's not in what they like to say homeostasis. And
Right.
that's where cannabis can come in and help big time, because it gives you ease. It eases that dis-ease. It doesn't cure it, but it'll ease. That's, that's what I like to call, you know, if I was going to release a strain, I'd like to call it the ease.
The ease.
Yeah,
I like that. You should do that.
it does. It adds ease to your stress of life. You know, life ease. You know, something like that.
So,
Yeah, inflammation.
sorry,
Bad.
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just going to say inflammation is bad,
Mhm.
and a lot of us, we what we have is low grade chronic inflammation, where we don't not realise we're inflamed because, you know, the food and everything. We're just used to it, so we're used to having that. Oh, I just don't feel that great, but that's normal for me. Yeah. So, and this is low grade, and once it goes on for years and years and years, that's when it becomes something else. Yeah, that's a dangerous thing, to be in this low grade inflamed state, because you're not even aware.
Mhm. Oh yeah, it's like, what does feeling good I don't even remember, you know. Like,
Yeah,
it's just,
that's what.
yeah.
You know, I'm going to stress the carnivore diet again, but you know, that's one thing that I noticed is, you know, my emotion, my mood, my attitude, and everything was, I just feel great.
Well,
And
sugar
and
creates inflammation,
mhm.
you know.
I've been a little bit bad since I got ill, and I took them antibiotics, and they messed my gut up a little bit. Uh, yeah, I keep having the sugar cravings really bad, and I keep having the odd biscuit. Bad,
Hmm.
bad, bad ICD.
Hmm. No, I did the same thing when I was doing it, was peanut butter. I would eat peanut butter, mixed with regular butter. And yeah, too much sugar, and knock myself out of ketosis, you know, and shit. So,
Yeah,
but it's hard, man. We're all addicted, I guess. Um, yeah,
that
but
is. And I believe it's because I took the antibiotics myself, because I was going good up until I got ill and took the antibiotics. And then obviously my
mm,
microbes obviously changed in my gut, because I obviously wiped out all my good ones.
yeah,
And then I started getting all these weird cravings and that again.
it's probably, you know, that whole GABA, GABA to you know, neurotransmitter gut to brain thing, where it's like not creating the right neurotransmitters, causing your brain to have cravings, you know.
It's how microbes control us.
Hmm. Yeah, the microbes rule the world. For me, it's meditation to help with pain relief and that reducing of inflammation, because um you know, I'm a big meditator, so I can get to a place where I don't have a body anymore. I'm just, my mind is just like kind of floating, and that's really nice, because I'm like, "Oh, I just need to take a little break from my body and its pains and shit." And then when I get up, I usually feel better, you know, my body feels more relaxed. It's not as tense, and um not causing more inflammation, you know, just being tense. So that's definitely something that I like to do, is helps relieve my pain as well. And I think cannabis and meditation go really well together, you know, because you could smoke a joint and then put on something soothing and relax. And, you know, you could put on something like, or you could smoke something that's not necessarily like the heaviest, but would give you a good, like, relaxation, not necessarily to put you to sleep, but just to let you kind of flow with your thoughts. And uh yeah, there's actually a huge thing about cannabis and meditation. And like, I remember listening to a podcast about, somebody was saying that they were doing like cannabis and meditation in a group setting, and people were having like psychedelic experiences from it, which I thought was a little bit over dramatic, but I don't know. I could see it maybe.
Yeah, right. Speaking of psychedelics, I was considering to appear today whilst under the influence. I got up a bit late.
Damn, Rolling Smoke says I was taking 4 30 milligram perks a day for 10 years plus, quit with help from GG4 plus Kim D RSO, which is the seeds that they gifted me. So that's an endorsement for sure. Those might get popped like very soon.
GG
They might
Force
get
good
popped
shit.
in the U-Haul on the way there.
Nice.
That was my very
Right.
first grow here was GG4.
Oh, really? Did it help
Uh-huh.
with your pain?
Yeah, that's a really good strain. It's pretty potent.
See, the problem for me is the 3 times that I've tried what was allegedly like real GG4, I got like kind of angry. It made me feel angry. So I wasn't really paying attention to the pain. So I don't know what that was about, but
It's there. Maybe it's just allowing you to vent off. Uh, everyone spends too much time being happy and joyful and trying not to get stressed or feel that stress. Personally, myself, I like to put on some aggressive music and just vex out for a little minute or two, and that seems to you know, de-stress, and you can just vent it. When we're all stuck in this peace and love and bottling everything up and trying not to let anything affect you and stuff, it's going to bottle up. You know what I mean? I'd say work with the ankle, work through it in a, or even if you've got a punch bag or something like that, go and smash
oh,
the shit out of a punching bag.
I
It
gotta
might,
take you off spotlight. That was making me feel motion sick. Sorry.
oh, sorry,
No,
that's
you're
because
good. You were
I'm swaying around there. Yeah. So I'm still walking in my head.
you
I'm
wanna
acting like one of those people. I'm acting like one of those people on spies. Can't keep still.
mm,
Well, anyways, yeah.
yeah, let's see
You
what we
want to
got
just quickly
here.
have a look at this, yeah? Right. This is I'll try and keep it still. This is the Grape Healy, cross blood diamonds. As you can see, this is a beast. This is gonna, yeah, I'll give you. This is gonna stack up nicely. It's all nice and spread out. The clip's done the business on this. Got nice big tops on all the edges of it. It's allowed the centre, as you can see. I thought it was going to have a little bit too much going on in the centre here, and I'd have to clean it up a bit. But no, it's looking all right. So I think this is gonna actually stack up very well. Yeah, here's the. Sorry, I'll try and keep still. I realise I'm doing it again.
Oh, you're all right.
This is the Franco's lemon cheese. These are looking all nice and looking actually nice. Got this thin leaf business going on, so I'm expecting a nice sort of sativary, energetic, buzzy high off this one here, just based on how it's looking. And the same for this as well. I mean, this looks like it's going to be a long finisher. It's probably going to be a
Mhm.
10 to 12 weeks probably on this one. Here's one here. This was one of my ones I just brought in. I suppose I better check as soon as I'm actually in here. Yes. I
Looks like a
think that's
male.
I think that's a female, mate. Personally, let me look with my eyes. Yeah, no, it's a female.
Nice.
I can see pistols. Yeah, you look at the top. There, you see him?
Yeah. Yep.
Look. See, and these are all at the same age as well. Like these ones are rocking nice pom buds on. The one that I pulled out was pretty much. I'll get round to where I pulled that out in a second. This is the Super Lemon Haze Cross RS11. I can actually remember now. I'm not so stoned today. Yeah, that's that one. I'll get round to these. Oh, these are the ones that were in the veg tent. I said I stripped them all back, topped them all, defoliated, so I slowed them down a bit. These are ready to be potted up and rock them out. So I'm just sexing these at the minute. So these are in here. I'm just wait. There's a couple in there I can see that are femmes already. So I'm just waiting to pull the males out so I can see what I'm working with. Oh, yeah, this is where that plant came out. But yeah, it was where one of these. This is the Super Lemon Haze Cross Pink Candy. I mean, that was these are nice looking plants. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, make sure no nanas come up on any of the other ones. Like I said, I got four. I had four in this pot, and only one of them had an issue. So I don't know exactly, whether it was the genetics or whether it was just something I'd done. Because I did have the problem. I told you about my window and stuff. I put that black film, and it was having a light leak, and maybe it was just this plant that was affected by that. I don't know. Who cares? So I ripped it out, and I'll just stick one of these smack bang in its place, or even I've got another one here sitting on top of my safe. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking like a female as well, to be honest with you.
Nice.
So yeah, so pretty much actually. Why not just use this over now? Oh.
There you go.
That's what I like about perpetual. If you've got stuff to back up when you find Hermes males, things like that. I knew I was running regs, so I knew I was going to have to chop plants out. It's always a good idea to have stuff in the ready and waiting to go in. But that one's just going to sit on top. I'm not going to bother potting it in there now. It's going to need to get up anyways. So yeah, that's me. I'll turn my camera off or turn it around and whatever. So you don't feel
Awesome.
seasick.
Thank you for the update. Looking good, man.
Yep,
That's right.
good.
Cool. I am looking forward to seeing how that Blood Diamond's Great Beauty finish out. So I'm going to be, when I've chopped that and I've got that in my hand, I think that's going to be a beast.
Yeah, that was impressive. Sorry, I was reading chat. They were saying never had my GG for Herm, but I thought that's what it was known for.
Yeah, it's kind of renowned for Herming. Mine did a little bit, but that's when I had that. That's when I was telling you I had that humidifier, that same one that we had that had all that lights on it. I had that, and then I had a tower fan. They both had lights on it, and I didn't know it. And I mean, mine didn't like completely herm out, but I did have just a handful more seeds than what I'm used to in that one.
Yeah. Them fucking lights. My humidifier's the same. It's got one of those stupid blue lights inside it. So I had to tape the whole thing up with duct tape. The smart plugs, they all have these. Some of them have options. You can turn the LEDs off on them, but some of them don't. So you have to, improvise. But yeah, unless you actually go in there with the light off, you're not really aware that there's a little glowing bit coming out of the corner of your room. It's weird. Yeah, I've been caught out by that a few times.
I've seen grow specific products have lights on them.
Yeah.
Well, I did buy a tower fan. It's a brand called Dreo, Dreo, and I loved it because the display would automatically shut off after like 20 seconds.
It's like my Inkbird monitor thing.
That's why it's in my safe. I'll put the actual monitor device in my safe because it's not long. I ain't got long enough cable to get it out of the room.
Mm.
But yeah, every time that it gets triggered or whatever, it illuminates. I'm like, that ain't gonna be no good if it's going off during the night. Just lighting up.
Yeah. You should get in the tent when it's all set up. If you set your hole or room or whatever, and then turn the light off, with no plants in it, and just sit there for like 10-15 minutes and see what happens, see what shows up, because you'll be surprised at the amount of light that gets in a tent that you don't notice when you're just because you'll be like, what is it? Your sense of light, your eyes have to adjust. So give it a few minutes and see. Yeah. Jace, do you want to give us a little tour of your garden over there? Plants are looking stacked up.
Yeah, right on. Ooh,
I can't wait to have plants again that I can show.
it's addictive, man. That's for sure. I'm ready to start growing again. I'm not even done with this one yet. I should start over here. So I've got my Gelato 41 here. This was by Atlas Seeds, right? Or Atlas Genetics.
Yes, Atlas. Something.
So that's crossed with what was that? Sunset Sherbet with Thin Mint cookies. That's what the parents are on that one. Still looking pretty good.
It kind of looks like the one that I grew. The buds are shaped a little differently.
That one's up in the light. They don't like it.
No, it doesn't.
Come on, baby. Just 2 more weeks. You can make it. Don't catch on fire between here and there.
Yeah, wait till after you're harvested.
And then this is the Scotty gelato. I got that from Humboldt. It was a freebie. And the parents on that one are Gelato 33 and Biscotti Sunday.
Mm.
That's that one with them really weird looking buds on it.
Mm-hmm.
Smells good though. It probably smells the best out of this tent. It has like a butter kind of cookie smell to it.
Yum.
So I'm hoping it smokes good. I don't care if the buds are smokes good. I'll still go for it. And then this is Peyote Forum, and that was from Seedsman, and that's across Forum cookies with Peyote Purple. And then my little clones there bouncing
Nice.
back up from the topping. Pretty big already.
There
Topped
you
it
go.
down here.
You can top all those branches.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can ride it out. I got probably at least a couple more weeks. So I don't know if I can make it a couple more weeks before it gets up in that light again. I could tie them down if I wanted to. I might cut them because it takes at least a week or so for them to really root.
Yeah.
And then Queen of the South, loving how this one's grown so far. It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks nice, man. I like the purple.
Yeah, very nice purple strain. So this is by Relentless Genetics. They're out of Colorado, and this is across Tropicana Cherry and number one Stunner.
Nice.
Really nice. Glad I got those clones on deck for this. I'm looking forward to growing this one again. And then last but not least is Goth Girl by Seed Person One himself. And I don't know what the lineage is on this one. You'll have to tell us.
It's green crack times platinum float times nightmare cookies.
But aside from that Queen of the South, it's got the best buds. Some of them are better. Pretty fat cola's coming up. Still got that little
Yeah,
peaked on the top.
that's funny.
That one's not as bad.
No, those other ones look all right. Looks good, man.
But
It's a big
this
cola
one
right
has,
there.
it is, it's got some really white hairs on this one. It looks really good next to that purple one there. The Queen of the South right next to it.
Nice
Be look,
contrast.
yeah, it'd be nice to see how it finishes out. Maybe it'll turn black the last couple weeks or so on it. But that's all I got going on.
It looks good, man.
Yeah, looks nice.
Just
Uh,
keep
before I
doing what you're
forget,
doing. Sorry, go ahead,
yeah.
Isona.
So before I forget, Happy Mother's Day, mothers.
Mother's Day?
Yeah, Mothering Sunday here.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Well,
I think you have it on. You might have
happy
it on a
Mother's
different
Day.
day, bro.
I think we have it on a different day because I would feel like a horrible son if today was Mother's Day.
I don't know why you
Jace,
have. I don't know why you have a
Jace,
different day.
yeah, I don't know. Jace, is today Mother's Day in America?
No, it's in
Okay,
May,
cool.
isn't it?
I don't know. That's why I'm a terrible son.
Yeah, it's in May, and then Father's Day's in June.
Gotcha. Different day for US, Terpopotamus says. Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, my back is fucked up right now. I'm gonna smoke the rest of this J.
Oh yeah, we were talking about pain management too. I had a friend. He hooked me up with some salve that he made. It's THC infused with coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, tapioca starch, beeswax, lecithin, grapeseed oil, eucalyptus, and tea tree. It's like THC, CBD salve that you can put on. I used that when I was really bad with my injury, and it helped out. Same thing, you know, it didn't like completely eliminate all the pain, but it definitely took it down a notch or two. So it's nice to get some relief.
It's good, man. I I got a CBD oil roller from Hippie Juice, and that seemed to help really well. Um, there was some other stuff in there as well. And I used to work for a company called Taspins. I'm not affiliated with them, just a heads up, everybody. But they're out of Colorado, and they made a it was a cream and an oil, and it had CBD in it, and it was very effective. So yeah, I think the topicals work pretty well, especially if you
I,
put other stuff in there. The one that they had like cayenne pepper in it, and that shit was like awesome. It worked great.
I just got in
Cay-
trouble.
Cayenne pepper, that's like Breaking Bad. That was his signature ingredient.
I never watched that show actually.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch that. It's like one of the best of all time.
I
Oh
tried.
well,
I watched the
you
first
can't beat Paul
season,
Wyatt.
and I have a hard time watching TV.
I get that. Yeah, it's hard to stay focused on it.
Yeah, I like audiobooks because I can like do stuff and just like walk around and I don't know. That's more my thing.
Don't have to sit still.
Man, I never really got on board with like the CBD topicals and everything, but a while back, I injured my rib. I thought I broke it, and I knew a guy. He made us some CBD lotion, and he hooked me up with it. And man, it felt like it just like instantly cured me. Like all the pain immediately went away. And ever since that day, I'm like, yep, I'm a believer now.
It's awesome. Is that chocolate or hash? That's hash.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. That's why I thought chocolate.
Let me try and get a bit better light.
Oh, nice. It just broke you off a corner,
Yeah, I'll smash
I
it
mean,
off.
that would be good if that was fudge. That does look good.
huh? Just take a bite of it.
Trust me, it's good.
It's probably decarbed, at least partially.
That's solid. You know, there's no squish in that.
Nice. I don't even know where I could get something like that here in the
I
States.
don't come about that often.
it's an old, more of an old school thing, you know. I suppose there's plenty of places I could go on Telegram, you know, and
Mhm.
places on the internet and order it and stuff. But yeah, locally, it's as and when sort of like it comes about, really. Yeah, we don't. I generally don't see that much homemade because people that make hash or whatever, they're normally going to keep it to themselves. To be honest with you, or they probably don't make enough to, you know. It's not like there's any commercial stuff going on, and I don't know. Ever since maybe the last 20 years, it's just all been about the bud, you know.
Yeah.
Uh, where
That,
it's really weird because you know this is in my opinion this is the better medicine.
right, but it doesn't look as cool, man. At least to
No,
like a normie.
yeah, it don't look as cool, don't smell as pretty, you know, and as fruity, you know, because it's
Mhm.
hash. It's got hash
It
in it.
doesn't sparkle.
It's
Yeah.
not bedazzled.
Yeah.
But when you talk about pain relief, this is you know, I find smoking hash, I it's different to smoking flower. The hash, it gives you that body high, that glowy, that glowy feeling where you just feel warm, you know, sort of
Hmm.
like nice. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's
Whereas
what's in that hashishine. Yeah. I don't
it's
know.
just,
I'm not a big hash person. I like dry sift for my trim bend, but that's about it.
yeah, I don't know where, you know, especially with the this sort of stuff. Who knows exactly what? I don't know what's in it. It's come
It's like
from
you when you do the pressing, the block or whatever, or rolling the ball, the temple ball, or all that shit is just like smushed and gooey and like melds into amalgamation, and it's like alchemy. You put some stuff in there and some other shit comes out, and you don't really know what's going on, but it works.
it's definitely Moroccan. I can tell that from the flavor profile.
What's the difference? Like I said, I'm not a big hash person.
Uh, no, the Afghanistani sort of like Indian sort of stuff. It's more black, generally softer. It's got more like bubble hash
Mm,
uh, as a finished product. Then you've got the Moroccan. It normally comes in sort of like two sort of forms. You get hard and you get a soft. The soft is normally like a polleny. This one is like an aged, pressed, designed more for import and space and everything else. It probably comes in like nine bars and stuff.
mm, gotcha.
Uh, yeah, it's, the flavor profile is it. Yeah, they're just unique. You know, like if you get Lebanese as well. If you get the Lebanese, like the Lebanese red, Lebanese pollen, it's got this unique flavor that just you can't describe the flavor, but it sets it apart as a that's what that is. It's distinctive to its and I find that that is the way with a lot of these hashes around the world. They have this distinct profile that's unique to that region, and it varies a little bit over the hash, but normally the hash is like pretty consistent, either rocky, soft, or squidgy, gooey, black.
The
Yeah, but
first
you have the blondier stuff as well, which doesn't really get you high. You need the first joint.
Yeah, so the first time I ever smoked cannabis, and like was when my friend gave me a little chunk of hash, and because I grew up overseas, so that was something that was more common over there. And he gave me this little chunk of like material and was like, "Here, smoke this." And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck do I do?" Like, so I kind of like smashed it up and put it in with tobacco and I smoked it, and I did not feel anything really. So I was like, well, that was a bust. And then the second time that I smoked was flour and just a little bit of shake, and I got so high. So I don't know. But definitely the dry sift that I make now is very good shit. It's what I've been smoking on today.
Oh boy. Yeah. Thanks.
I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight myself just in case. But
Yeah,
anyways,
you're right. My son is cool.
okay.
Say hello, Tyler.
What's up, brother?
He's not going to bag a hash joint. He's like, oh, it
Aw,
smells like hash in it.
nice. So I'm actually that puts a good transition to something I wanted to share, which I'm gonna be going on a road trip this coming Friday. So I don't know if we're gonna have a show on Sunday, which is Easter. Um, but I'm gonna be going on a road trip with my parents, and I am taking my last nug of Goth Girl, and I'm gonna get my mom to smoke it with me.
Yeah,
And
nice.
she doesn't smoke. She's not, she's very like, oh no, I would never do that, you know. And she's like, maybe a cookie or something. And I'm like, no, it's different. You got to smoke it. And she's like, I don't want to cough. I'm like, it's gonna be all right, mom. Like, this is gonna be
Yeah.
great. So yeah, that's cool to be able to share with your family.
Look on the wire. I don't know where the wire is, but it's
Jace, do you share with your family, and do any of your relatives smoke, or would you be comfortable sharing any of that?
Yeah, honestly, I don't have too many family that smokes. I've got a sister-in-law, but she's on hiatus right now, so she's got a little bit longer to go. And then I've
Mm,
got a couple siblings that are like real casual with it. Actually, just one of them now, but yeah, other than that, not really. I mean, but yeah, I mean, if anybody comes over, I'll smoke with them all day.
yeah.
I'll hook them up. I give them some gummies, have some good times.
Halo says yes, seed mom. Gotta update us on how that goes. Cheers, Halo. We'll see. But I hope it does. I hope it happens because I've been saving this nug for this specific occasion. So and say like, you know, it's a good bonding thing to do if you want to bond with me. This is a big part of my life, you know. So why not try and experience it one time and we'll see what happens.
yeah. She might be one of these ones that go, oh, I feel, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
You're gonna be reaching for the peppercorns.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm taking a one hitter and I'm just gonna say here, just take one inhale and that's it and see how you feel, you know,
Yeah,
like go
give her half
real
an hour.
gentle. Yeah. Like I remember the first time I smoked and like yeah, it didn't take much. So I know nowadays I'd be like, let's smoke a whole blunt together, you know, but no, I can't do that too early. I want her to enjoy the experience. So one inhale and that's it, and we'll go hang out or walk in the woods or something, you know.
Yeah. What you want though is you want to get sativa. To be honest with you, you want an uplifting high, not a couch loggy stoner.
Yeah,
Oh, I can't be asked. I can't feel my legs. You
yeah,
want something that's just going to be like, yeah, because that is I think when you can have fun and have a laugh, that's medicine in itself. And if you can use cannabis to get you into that state of mind, that just and you spread that joy with your family and your loved ones, and you get them all involved in it. You can all sit there having I just feel uplifted and fucking lighter just for I don't know, just for having a crazy time of I don't know why I'm laughing, but I'm
yeah,
enjoying it.
yeah.
And it teaches you just to be like, oh, I like that experience and I want to be happy more.
Laughter is anti-inflammatory, surprisingly.
It's in
Like,
them weird people where they have them laughter sessions.
yeah, laughing churches, I've heard of that. That's like
That
that's a
looks weird.
so just to go really way off topic here for just 1 second. I've actually heard that's like a Kundalini thing, with like energetic stuff. But anyways, I'm coming back onto cannabis and you know, I might take that one hitter with me and just walk we go for a walk and like let her have one puff and then keep walking and then see how she feels and if she wants to have another puff or whatever, like, and say like I'm gonna have multiple so you can have as many as you want and go for, we'll see.
Oh, well, he's bought me some cheese. He's
Some
fucking.
cheese.
Yeah, he has. He's like, oh, fucking hell. It's Mother's Day. And he's bought me presents.
There you go. Well, you'll be in a better mood to deal with his mom and, be more
Joy,
loving.
you gave me a ripping a minute ago. I got in trouble for saying Happy Mother's Day to all you lot.
What's that?
I got in trouble for telling you all Happy Mother's Day. I hadn't even said it to her yet.
Oh.
You weren't
Well,
happy.
we appreciate it, man, Oh man, that's funny. Oh, I lost track of what I was gonna say. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that the goth girl is mine is it's a good hybrid, so I don't think it's gonna be like couch locky, but especially with like going in small increments, because that's really what you want to do is just start real small and titrate up always.
Yeah, especially I mean, you might be like, oh, it's not going to hit her that much, but for someone that ain't ever smoked or whatever, you know,
You know
it.
what? Sorry,
We
go
all
ahead.
we all we all underestimate our tolerances and how much we resist the high. If we ever have a proper tolerance break, and then we realise, actually, and maybe you got to think about that as well. Sometimes maybe don't put so much in.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna, yeah, you gotta keep it real small with people, especially like I remember, okay, so I took a break after I went through my treatment for alcoholism. Um, I didn't smoke or drink or touch anything for years and years, right? So then I randomly had the opportunity to smoke and I took it and I took 3 hits and I was so high. Um, it was a strain called Black Hole, and I was like, let's go for it. And yeah, 3 hits, and I was just completely ripped. And I still remember that because it wasn't, that was only like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Um, that I started smoking again. So and then almost immediately started growing. So it's, it is what it is. But um yeah, definitely don't drink though. We had some friends over. They brought beer and wine, and I was like, if I drink any of that, my stomach is gonna kill me, So I know my tolerance with that would be similar to other people that don't smoke's tolerance to cannabis, and you can be, have half a beer or whatever, or take one puff of cannabis, that's really potent shit.
They call me Ice Any Two Sips.
2 sips. There you go. No, I know. I had some stomach issues a couple years ago. And I was worried that I had done like serious damage because of years of drinking alcohol and what it did to my esophagus and stomach and just messed me up. So um definitely don't want to put that down. I don't even drink like kombucha because it'll fuck up my stomach. Um, but anyways, I digress. Shout out to the
Okay.
chat. I see Artman, Sky Overhead, Bingus, JK, Captain Blackheart. Anybody wants to come and hang out and show their gardens, we'd love to see it. I always try to make you feel welcome and uh, we're just bullshitting on here and smoking and stuff. So uh, give us something for our eyeballs, as Smart would say. Let me get set up here. I need to smoke a little bit more of this hash. Jace, are you smoking at all? I was just curious if you had anything going.
No, actually, I'm almost done mixing up my last batch of nutrients right
Oh, he's working. Sorry to interrupt you from your work, man.
now. No, you're cool. I went silent for a little bit. I had to put it on mute. I don't want you guys hearing me rapping on
Oh,
my drill over here.
you're all good.
That's how I knew because I got another place where my son lived, and as in a block of flats, and my upstairs neighbour, I could just hear him mixing his nutrients through the floor. It's crazy. And then I hear this, you can just hear
The
him
zipper of the tent.
And
That's
it's just a
hilarious.
dead giveaway.
That's so funny.
And it's regular, it's like clockwork as well. It's like, in the middle of the night, I can hear this clunk, 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 and you can just hear it's like a big toe or something he's fucking stirring up. It's just vibrating all the way through the floor.
That's funny. So these friends of ours that we had over were telling us about when they first moved into their house and how they found it was an odd layout for the basement, and one of the rooms was all painted up white and the rest of the basement was unfinished, and there was like weird holes in the walls and stuff. And I was like, they finally figured out after like years, there it's a grow room. They were growing stuff in there. Like that's awesome, you know. So I gave them some seeds because I was like, here, just in case you want to.
It's addictive.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. So what I got to do right now is I have the options between some street weed or some seeded what was it, green cracked platinum float. And so I'm currently picking all this chaff and bits of flour out of, because all the bud was completely ground up to get to the seeds, you know. So but it's like a mix of seeds and ground up flour and shit. And so I have to pick all the seeds out, which I was like, I could go for the street stuff, but I know this is better medicine for me. And
The way
I
I
just
do
gotta
that, I put it all in a big tub,
mhm.
just shake it, and pretty much all the seeds will fall to the bottom and your plant material stays on top.
Right. I did that with the jar, um, upside down to get a majority of the seeds out of the material, and
Yeah.
like would unscrew the jar and then all the seeds would fall out and it would just be pick them out of the little bit of chaff that was left. But
Yeah, I just throw it all in the tub and just shake it and just pinch the material off the top and make a joint. Just put it in the palm of my hand and then just quickly glance through it. But pretty much all your seeds and that are going to drop underneath the material. They're heavier if they're loose in your stuff.
see, my technique is to dump it all out, not the whole jar, but like a pile onto the table, and then like press the edges of the pile together and all the loose material will puff up on the top of it. Same concept. I'm just sitting here doing it right now. Yeah, but it's a good way. Like I had to be motivated to get these fucking seeds out of this stuff so I can put the seeds in packets and send the packets, but I didn't want to. I was being lazy, and now it's like, well, at least I'm gonna smoke, what I pull out of it.
Yeah, it's lovely. What I do. Oh, nice. The blueberry splash, I'm pretty sure. It smells like cheese. Yeah.
It's the cheese.
Yeah. He just then said it's called blueberry splash, but it smells like cheese to me.
As long as you like it, who cares what it's called? You know?
Yeah.
I got some triple cheese. I'm going to grow. Probably not my next run, but the one after that. Never had a
Nice.
cheese strain before.
I think if you get a proper nice cheese, you'll like it, especially if you get the. In my opinion, it comes in two different flavors. You got the foisty, moldy, sort of like just like
Wet socks.
like a wet flat, yeah, like a wet flannel that's been left to dry out. You've got that version, and then you've got the nice, sweet, skunky sort of like, I don't know. It's just unique in itself as well. You just ain't got really a flavor you could describe. It's not cheese, but but it's unique enough to be like, oh, this is what it is, and it's known as cheese. But yeah,
It's like if you left like a Danish outside in the sun for like 4 days, like a cheese Danish. It smelled kind of funky and weird, but also you could also maybe like remember what it was, and I don't know. That's what my experience was with the one that I grew. It was a cheese auto, but yeah.
I do love cheese.
Did you ever
Yeah,
grow
I don't get bored of it. To be honest with you, it's not one of those. Most stuff I'm like, ugh, I want something different. But cheese, I can just go smoke jar after jar after jar of it, and not be like, oh, I want something else.
Some good shit, huh?
Yeah,
It's a good match for your personal endocannabinoid system, which
yeah,
is a good thing to touch on for pain management, is that certain strains and terpene, dominant terpenes in the stuff will also have an effect. Like um back when I was first getting back into smoking, I would go to a specific dispensary that would had like the terpene profiles of all the strains like listed with it. So I would be able to say like, oh yeah, I like, my wife likes the ones that have high limonene, so I'll get some of that. And, I like to try all of them. So um but generally speaking, people, at least, from what I've heard from people for like pain relief, the fouler it is, the better. Um, and that's just like general, not like a general, it's a generalization, but
yeah.
I don't know if y'all
Yeah,
have experience with that.
like the chems, they're saying, it's good medicine. I ain't too keen on the chem taste, especially the ones that actually taste like chemicals.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they hit you quite hard and that, but they're just not enjoyable in my opinion to smoke. Some of the OGs are nice, but when it comes to that full-on chemical flavor, I'm like, it's always put me off because I always looked at that as like back in the days when hydro was a big thing, and it's like people didn't flush their weed, and they use and it was all chem. It's disgusting. You could just taste the nutrients, and it tasted like a fucking Bayer. I used to work for Bayer for a little while, and yeah, just it's got a distinctive smell about it, and I don't like it. And just if I smell that profile, even no matter how hard it is hitting and stuff, I'm like, no, I'll smoke something else, even if it don't get me as stoned. I want to enjoy my smoke. I don't want to be like, oh, I need a drink. I need a,
Mm,
you know.
yeah. So I grew a do-si-dos from seed from Barney's farm that when you ground it up, it smelled like a fresh baby diaper. It was
Oh,
very
nice.
nasty, very nasty.
I like that
And
profile though.
I laughed so hard on that strain, like just laughed my ass off nonstop every time I smoked it. And that baby diaper terpene profile for me seems to be one that makes me feel really giddy and very like uplifted. So I don't know if you guys have anything terpene profile wise that you're like, I love that shit besides the cheese
Yeah,
ice and I, no
yeah.
offense.
Well, the strain that I got from Robert, from Joel, North Star, the Dairy Queen, that's got that pro. Well, I made a strain probably about 25 years ago, and I crossed the Dairy Queen to a Tutankhamun, and I called it
Mm,
Sick Tut. And because I had this sort of like baby vomit smell, sort of like vomity, sicky, pooey, weird, just the smell you associate around babies.
yeah, exactly.
And this sort of like creamy cheesiness about it as well. That was just fucking awesome. And yeah, I've been looking for that strain for ages. And I asked Joel a couple of times, and he's like, "Oh, go with my auction away." But then he gave a load away, and Robert got hold of a load, and through magic of a few other people and whatever, they've ended up here. So yeah, I'm 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 excited for that one. I've been looking for that for years,
Oh
and
yeah.
I still have got two of those Tutankhamun seeds. They're actually an AK-47 from pre-2000. It's just pyramid seeds, Bonafino hunt, and they've got a fruity version of the AK-47 they call Tutankhamun. And this was one of the first ever strains that ever came out over 30% THC. And this was decades ago. Whether it actually did, whether it was falsified or not, I don't know. But it's got a bit of history behind it. I'm looking forward to possibly trying to recreate that because, yeah, that was fire. It really was because
That's cool.
it suited everyone's cheesy cheesy appetite, but that had this distinct, smelly, pee nappy about it before. I said, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It's really nasty. Yeah.
I've got a couple of courses as well that Robert made with it as well. Robert Greenfingers, that is, everyone.
Yeah. Salt and seeds, right?
Yeah.
Salt and
Robert,
salt and
motherfucking
seeds.
Greenfingers Thomas.
That's right. There you go. Jason,
Well, when
have
it
you ever
comes
had
to
it?
weed,
Yeah, there you
when
go.
it comes to
Sorry.
weed, you want like the nastiest, dankiest, funkiest shit that's known to mankind. It's something that you wouldn't want to eat, like a baby diaper. You're like, give
Yeah.
me that. I want to smoke it.
Like roadkill skunk, you know,
Cheetah
which is a
piss,
whole
all
other conversation. Yeah, cheetah piss.
Yeah, I've had some piss strains back in the days. It normally came from like hazy stuff. That's where I associate the cat piss. It's not with my. It's in the haze, in my opinion.
I think so too.
And I've had I can't remember what it was from Nirvana seed bank back in the days. I think it was called Crystal or Crystal. But yeah, that smelled fire on the plant. It smelled like just skunk. But as soon as you chopped it, oh, it just smelled like cat piss really bad. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
there's no way I'm gonna want to smoke this. And that was like, when you chop a plant and it just like woofs, stinks out. But
Yeah.
this just smelled piss. Nothing like it smelled when it was growing. It smelled like dank. But cut it and it smelled like piss. And I'm like, oh. But actually, when it was all cured and you smoked it, it was the dank. Yeah. Didn't smell. You smell the bud. It smelled like piss, but it didn't smoke like and taste like it.
Huh. That's is cat piss is just a cut of super silver haze, isn't it? That's what
I
I
think it probably
remember
goes back.
reading,
So
but
I think it
I
probably
think
goes
it
back. I don't know,
I'd say
but
the
yeah, I
piss
think that
terps are definitely in the haze. Yeah.
it came out of the haze, and people have then coined it as it's the cat piss. But I just it's just the piss strain, piss pheno, cat piss, cheetah piss, man piss, old man piss.
I saw some seeds on Daga.garden from I want to say it was AK Bean Brains had the haze, like the original haze, and it says flowering time 20 to 22 weeks. And I'm like, fuck. I can't grow that, but I want to, Like I could, but I don't have, like limited space for projects and shit. So
I reckon dehydrated piss would be a good name.
oh man. Lovely. Hey, Miranda Family Farm says stop peeing in your plants. That was a book, wasn't it? It was a book about pee and
Better than dog
nitrogen.
shit. Better than dog shit, says Miranda. Come on now.
No, there was a book about using pee as a fertilizer. You could like grow your plants with pee. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, you can because it's urea. But a lot of the commercial products are using like a horse urea for for making their fertilizers. Uh, come on, more.
Awesome. That's yeah.
Yeah, the old rumor was if you get a child's piss, if you're going to use piss, you want to use a young person's piss because they ain't taking all illicit substances and things like that, so it should be pretty clean. But yeah,
Yeah.
Miranda, where I got with the dog shit. Yeah, Miranda's got a friend who used to put dog shit on his pots.
Oh no. Oh, I heard of rolling them in like sand and shit, but no, that's gross. I wouldn't even smoke bud that's been sprayed in flour just because of what's on it or what potentially could be on it.
Yeah, me either. That's why I don't spray anything or try not to, at least. I mean, I've been lucky. I haven't had to on my plants, but yeah. Because, I mean, they go through the commercial facility and they got to test all or pass all the testing and stuff. But that still don't mean they haven't been sprayed with something. That's just not something I want to be putting in my body.
Yeah. Yuli says their chocolate that I just finished letting the seeds dry as we speak, kind of coffee vanilla, kind of the smell. That sounds delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
I'll definitely try that. I almost got enough plants I can hop on, but a few too many. Fair enough. Maybe next time. Cheers to the chat. I'm over here reading chat and we got dead air. Sorry, everybody. But that's how these shows go because we're just we're
Just a
high
bunch of
and
stoners.
yeah, didn't come prepared as always.
You know, we were talking about like white label genetics earlier and how they get washed out, you know,
Mm,
depending on who you get it from. Because we were going back to that GG4 that I grew. I grew that from clone, and I think it was a different variant because it might have been it had like a grape taste to it, which I don't think you're supposed to get that with the original GG4. I think it's supposed to be more gassy, and so this had more like a grape terp profile, which there is like a grape glue, which is like a variant of GG4. I forgot what it's bred with, but it has that grape flavor. So maybe that's what that was that I had.
mm. Yeah, the even so the green crack that I used wasn't pure green crack because I can't get it from clone, because I'm in a red state. So I used the Cali Connections green crack from seed, which was the green crack what's the cut? The Snoop Dogg cut or whatever. And then cross that to Deadhead OG and then back to the green crack again as a BX, and that's what I used. And I just found the one that I liked the best out of that. But they weren't. It definitely was different from what I've heard the description of green crack, but it was very much the same effects of the described. So different smell though. It smelled more like fermented cherries than mango. For the one that I liked, there was one that smelled kind of mangoey, but it wasn't as frosty, and I just like the other one better, honestly.
Well, then at that point, I mean, like, what do you do? I mean, is there like one seed bank that you trust over another one that's going to have better genetics?
Um, I, I would talk to like the community, honestly, if you're looking for like a legit thing, to get into chat, go on Instagram, not to like a company, and see who has like Roll and Smoke sent me those GG4 times Kim D seeds that he was talking about that are really, really good for pain. And I trust that as being like the legit shit, more than I would go um yeah, I don't know. I would say that I think those seeds are actually from um CSI Humboldt. So that I would say the seeds from CSI Humboldt are going to be he's using the original shit. Um
See, just like that super booth that I just bought from Barney's Farms. Um, I forgot who the original or the creator of Super Booth was, but I know it's not Barney's Farm. But just getting, that white label genetic from them, because they're a pretty good seed bank or breeder. So I would trust them just personally. I've used them before too. I got some pretty good genetics from them.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. Who else would I go for? Um
I usually use Seedsman. I like ILGM, but man, they're kind of expensive. I think they're a little
I
bit
see I
pricier on
don't
their seeds.
I don't trust all their strains because they got lots and lots and lots of strains. I think they're all picking all the seeds out of the same jar and putting them in different bags. Um, that's just me personally, but yeah, I would
It's
say
like
like smaller craft breeders would be better than going to like a bigger company.
because I just grew that Tropicana cherry on my last run, and I got that from like a no-name seed bank. I forgot the name of them because it's just hard to find and it's expensive if you get the legit Tropicana cherry. That's from Relentless Genetics. I think they're the original creator of that. Um, but just growing it out, like I can tell it's not the original chopped cherry.
Hmm. Yeah. As far as seed banks go, I would say my personal go-tos would be Daga.garden, Multiverse Beans, and Himbra Genetics, which is now I think Gas Lamp Seeds. But they haven't really been updating their website, so I'm not sure what's going on over there. Those are the three that I use the most for stuff. But like in terms of like breeders and stuff, not to call anybody out specifically, but like a lot of companies that have, all these different strains like AK-47 or Super Boof or Green Crack or whatever, they're taking what they were told is these strains, and then they're doing like BXs on them. Like they're back crossing it, and they're doing some selection probably, but um yeah, I don't know that it's going to be like an exact match. It might be close. They're trying to do like a recreation of the strain for the seed, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, it's seems like it's very difficult to get it from the breeder. I mean, it's not like they just advertise that and sell it out there online. It's not like it's readily available, depending on
Right.
the breeder. I mean,
Right. To get the clone too is a difficult thing for people around the world to get clone only stuff. So filling the market, finding out what people want, what people are talking about, and then coming up with something that's similar and calling it that and selling it as seed is very profitable.
The clone only seed bank.
Yeah. Yeah. So doing stuff like S1ing, I know Copycat Genetics does that, where they'll pick a good strain or whatever, like the hype shit that's popular right now, and then do a little pheno hunt and just reverse that one and then just sell those seeds as that strain, S1, um, which is closer to, you know, I don't know. I don't want to throw shade on anybody, so I'm gonna just say that, listen to what other people
I can't
have
see
to say
why,
about after they've grown it. What's that?
I can't see why people have a problem with it personally. If you can do, you know what I mean? There's no one's got any intellectual property over this stuff. In my opinion, it's given to all of us. It's free and accessible to everyone. In my opinion, and it should be one of these things that should be openly shared. And if you want to, in my opinion, him doing these S1s and copying or whatever, yeah, he's just doing the work, just a different type of work. He's not putting in all the work, but who cares? We got seeds that are good to grow. That's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's
There's
fair.
more seeds being made and passed out, and everyone's growing more seeds. Who cares about how we get there and the politics and everything else? And put all that aside and just grow the plants.
So that's fair. That's fair. Um, I'm just my analogy in my brain that I have for this all is like I guess if you want to go buy a product, you're going to see a lot of ads. Like, let's say you go on Amazon for a specific thing, right? There's going to be some knockoff shit that's going to be cheaper. You're going to, find some good quality stuff that's going to be a little more expensive and a little bit maybe harder to find. And then, for the people that want the highest quality, you're not going to find it on Amazon. You're going to find it, word of
Yeah,
mouth with small little businesses that do like handcraft shit. So
I'm not opposed to buying one-to-one clones. You know what I mean? I've bought plenty of fake stuff that's from China, say for instance. Just electronical stuff where it's essentially the same product. Yeah, they've just copied it and they've released it at a much cheaper price. Sometimes it doesn't hold up or whatever, but I ain't got a problem sometimes with buying knockoff shit. It's a price. It's a price thing, isn't it? Some
I
some
guess,
prices are just ridiculous for
and
stuff.
it's all gonna be, reasonably decent in terms of like seeds and the different strains and shit. Like you'll if you grow enough strains, you'll find some unique fire, whether it's called this, that, or the other. Like
Yeah.
just keep popping seeds. And that's the beauty of it, is all these strains that they're calling, at least back in the day, was for the clone. It wasn't for the cross. Like the whole cross wasn't, maybe it was this cross or that cross, but once you found that fire shit, you keep clones of it and you can call it whatever you want because you found it, and you can give it to
And
people
then,
and say, this is
yeah,
what it is and this is what I'm calling it.
then you sort of like you're locking it down a bit as well. It's, especially when these triploids or whatever it is. If they devise some sort of way where we're locked out of the breeding game, that's the way I see. If we're not too careful, that's the way it's gonna end up. We can never actually totally be locked out, but they're gonna there's going to be shit put into our genetics that's going to get crossed in, that's going to make us harder and less susceptible to doing what we want to do, because the commercial industry has got it in such a way where it's like less susceptible to errors, and you, I don't know, and you're just going to get more of a standardized product, whereas that's everything we don't want.
Right. And again, same sort of analogy in terms of like the commercial market for seeds. You can go get heirloom stuff that's been, like Sky Overhead's been working with his seeds for, years for vegetable stuff. And same goes for cannabis seeds. People have been, doing their own shit, and or you could go get, like a commercial pack of seeds from the store that's not gonna, if you save those seeds, like, or even from like the grocery store, you save seeds from certain plants and vegetables and fruits and stuff that, like, that shit's not gonna be viable. They turn it off. You can't take like an apple, like some different apple seeds and go grow them and it won't yield fruit for you. Like
Yeah.
that's what the same idea. But I can go, to a local apple farm where they have their own variety and say like, hey, can I buy some apples from you? Take those seeds and go grow those seeds out and have a really fucking nice apple tree in my backyard, that's unique and different. So same thing goes for anything. Is like there's going to be always going to be like
Yeah.
people like us that are preserving and
It's like
keeping.
it's like avocados. Apparently, you try and grow an avocado, it's not going to be anything like what you grow that seed out of. It's not going to be I can't remember how that's done and stuff, but yeah, it's they put out clones, but the seeds from them clones, or from the, just don't bear nice fruit. Not that you would want to eat.
Right. Well, avocados take years to fruit anyways, as far as I understand.
Yeah, I
But
think
I
it
got
takes
a
like 4
lemon.
years.
Yeah. I got a lemon from the grocery store and planted a seed, and I still have that. It's been going for 2 years now. It's like almost 2 feet tall. Little lemon tree.
They do some magic nowadays. You can buy trees that will fruit not long after you buy them from the nurseries, where they've treated them with some sort of PGR to make them bear fruit early.
Mm. I went to Walmart and was walking through the gardening section, and I was seeing these little blueberry cuttings that still had like dried little blueberries on them. I'm like, you know, what's that about? They could have just taken cuttings after it fruited, or I don't know. Like, why would there still be blueberries on the little plant they're selling for $7 or whatever?
I think it's so you can fruit it out straight away.
Mm,
Is I think it is sold. They sell them like that now, where you ain't got to establish a tree or anything. You can have something to look at pretty soon, whether you're going to actually produce big enough fruit and what not to eat. But you're not going to be sitting there looking at a tree. Oh, when's that going to bear fruit? You know,
right. And I know that blueberries they take like a year or something like that. And
and
um,
blackberries are the same.
mhm,
I think that'll take 2 seasons to bear fruit
right.
again after you took the cut. And
Wild. I would just yeah, like things like blackberries and shit, that grows really fast though. So I might even just do that from seed. And honestly, when I get to wherever we end up, our final location in Colorado, I'm gonna be throwing all kinds of seeds out around my property and um just let shit grow wild and and berries are very high on that list for sure. Because I used to remember we'd take walks through the countryside back where I was growing up in Europe and like pick berries just growing wild, and you just fill up your whole hoodie, like a pouch, and hold it up and fill it up full of berries as you're walking and just eat that shit. So
Yeah, I've got black currant bush in my backyard. All the neighbours, I don't eat them off there, but all the neighbours walk past and collect a handful of blackberries off my bush.
it's awesome.
I totally glyphosate. I would never eat anything out of my garden because I put glyphosate down about 10 years ago and sort of like just nuked the whole lot. But I would imagine I put in about, because this was when I was working for Bay. I'd say 10 years ago, it's probably about 20 now. But yeah, I managed to get some sort of like concentrated Roundup, and this was at a point when I wasn't really into my garden and stuff, and I just nuked the whole lot. They just wanted it clean for the dogs to play in and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wish I'd never done that.
Mm-hmm. Is there something you could do to remove that shit? Like,
Oh
could you plant
yeah,
stuff to?
microbials do break down. It probably is gone by now. It's
Yeah.
probably got a half life that's well spent, but yeah. I wouldn't want it. If I was going to grow anything out there again, I'd put it above the ground in beds or pots or what.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, especially as well, if you've lived in a city or like myself, my garden, if I tried to dig under it, it's all rubble. Where there's a building site at some point, and you don't know what's in there because when houses get built and that, they just dig holes and just bury all the trash.
Yeah. Container gardening is awesome. I did that one year. I had fucking like it was at least 25 fabric pots out in the yard and just in rows, and I had all different kinds of stuff in there. And then I got some big totes from like Tupperware totes, and I drilled holes in them and I filled them full of soil, and I put uh all kinds of stuff in those. I put some corn in that actually, and I grew like 6 corn stalks and ended up with 4 uh ears of corn that were mostly formed. There was some little patches where they hadn't got pollinated, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And I just move them around if I needed to, to mow and shit. So I had all kinds of like vines and cucumbers and melons, and yeah.
Do you remember the smart pot that I made?
Yeah.
And I brought it outside. Yeah, I got 4 of these out in my backyard, but yeah, all
That's
my cover
awesome.
crop, all that cover crop that was in there, has just took off. And yeah, it's all full of these lovely little flowers. I might even take some cuttings off of this and go replant up my pots indoors. But yeah, I've all my garden now has got all these patches of beneficial greens, should I say. I've got sort of like loads of dandelion, all the stuff you
Mhm.
would have in the cover crop. Plus, I got, like I say, I looked at the medicinal stuff because when the dogs are out here or when they just munching all this stuff, so I'm like, why not just grow stuff that's actually good for them to eat and just the standard grass? So I just started throwing all sorts of stuff, seeds out here,
Mhm.
and
Is that
eventually
your worm farm over there?
Yeah, I moved it out. I moved it out outside as well.
You guys gotta excuse me. I gotta go handle something really quick. I'll be right back. Just talk amongst yourselves. I won't be more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I moved this outside because I was concerned that might have been a breeding ground for the Fritz. So, because I was taking all my trim and everything and running it through here, so I just thought, fuck it, just erring on the edge of caution, like I was doing my IPM, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just gonna put it outside. Summertime, they're gonna quite enjoy being out there. I say summer, spring.
Those like sacrificial plants out there to attract the bugs so they don't go to your other plants that you don't want them on.
Yeah. Well, not only that, it's attracting all the ladybirds and things like that. I have to be a little bit cautious because there was a couple of bushes I did have out in that garden that were just covered in aphids. So, you know, I wouldn't want to be just sort of like messing around in the garden and then just going straight into my room. But yeah, it's a good little place if I now want if I go out there early in the morning and stuff, I could go and collect a load of ladybirds and just go let them off in my room if I want to. That's the nice thing about having some stuff, you know. If I want to, I think I could probably do some IPMs out there, you know, like IMLs and stuff. Start doing a little bit of collecting of microorganisms. I'll probably throw down some beneficial stuff. I know people don't. You don't feed trees, but I've got a nice little tree out the front of my garden. I'm going to try feeding it and see what happens. If you know what happens when you feed a tree, is it going to fucking take off? It's already huge anyway.
Are you gonna feed it?
I'm just gonna, yeah, just like broken up root balls and things like that. I'm just gonna just compost it and just throw it all around the base of the tree.
Okay.
Basically, the trees that I've got out there, they're only about 3 years old anyway. 1 year, there's a load of wind, and I got some really big, massive trees out the back here that are like 50, 60 foot tall. And occasionally they have branches fall off and whatever. And I just grabbed up one of these branches and just rammed it in the ground like you do a cutting. And yeah, it just took off. And like I say, within 3 years, I got like a 20-foot tree out there.
I'm
Wow.
back. Sorry about that, guys.
The idea was I was going to keep doing that and have, because I thought it might be a way of getting a fence line, but with trees, and have like a living fence. That was an idea that I thought about just along my front wall there. Because if you ever notice when I go out there, I've got a pub across the road, and it's very there can be 200 people sat out there in the afternoon in the summer. And if I go out in my yard, I'm very sort of like being watched. And it's every time I go out to put rubbish in my bin or whatever, I just love to have a wall of trees. Just
You know what you need bamboo. Oh, Lobo is joining. Let's see. Admit. Cheers, Lobo. Welcome to the show. I'm going to spotlight myself just in case there's any kind of accidental camera stuff going on, but welcome to the show. Looks like you're set up. You're muted though.
Accidental nudity.
Can you hear that now?
Yep, we got you loud and clear here. I'm gonna put you on a spotlight here.
All right, so this as I get closer to these boxes, my voice will cut out, so you probably won't be able to hear me too much. But I switched to let's see, let me give you a good picture if I can.
You can turn your phone sideways. Thank you. Excellent.
Let me open this box. Hang on.
I love the just the cleanness of your setup with the four identical.
So if you can leave.
Yep.
So I switched to calcium carbonate. Let's see if there's like you can see this fan leaf is starting to show some of that. I switched to calcium carbonate like a week and a half ago, and I feed them all pretty much the same. Like this is the hippie grape from Calves, and it's not really showing much, but like I've got this. Hang on, let me unzip this one so I can get a little closer.
Your gypsum, calcium carbonate, it's not really that bioavailable. I'm not. You want something like micro. If you want to address a calcium situation, I'd go for the micronized gypsum.
Damn, so you're all in those bee grows. You like those quite a bit, apparently?
It's a love-hate relationship. So I actually started out with one last February, and then ended up when they went on sale for $420, I bought 3 more just for convenience at the time. And so they work well, they grow well. It's only 100-watt light, but it does, it does pretty well. There's things about odor control that I don't like. I don't think it does a good job with that. They sell it as a discrete growing thing, but you still have plant stink. The carbon filter doesn't quite keep up. The zippers can be a little dodgy it's got like this felt lip, and that gets hung up. So if I'm out of town for work, which I am a lot, and my dad's watering plants for me, he's always calling me saying the zipper's on. But all in all, I mean, I can't beat it. And I've
So
got
what method of what
power.
method of watering are you doing there? Are you doing like the Wick King or the DWC? Because there's different options you have on that.
Well, so they don't have the DWC option yet. I saw it at MJ BizCon in December, but it's not available till the summer. So this is all right now wicking. So the self-watering wicking system is what these use. So, but yeah, I mean, like this plant, I had to top it. I had to top it because it grew into the light, and the same thing with my blue Z plant over here.
Mm.
So I had to top that main cola, which sucks, but you know, better to chop it and let the others finish and kind of go from there. But anyway, what do you think about that calcium change?
I
I've already
said,
said my opinion. I'd go for a micronized gypsum to address the calcium issue. It's more readily available. It's it's soluble in the water pretty much, 100% soluble. I would go for that. The carbonate part of the calcium carbonate is not that great for soil. It's got a bit of a pH up on it.
Yeah,
I'd go for the gypsum because you got your calcium and you got your sulfur, which is going to add a little bit of dankiness as well. So, yeah, go for I'd go. I'd look at getting You can get 25 kilo bag of gypsum from the agricultural side of things, and that lasts you forever, and it's not that much money.
yeah. Because I don't do any top watering. These are all bottom watered all the time. So
Yeah,
whatever
you
it's
can mix it.
yeah, coming from the reservoir underneath it. So
did you
What you
put
can
the
do with
calcium
the
carbonate like as a top dress, or did you mix it in with the nutrients, or?
it's just liquid, It's
Okay.
the Cali Magic, which is
Oh, okay.
that's
I was
I was
curious.
under the assumption that was a powder you were using.
Yeah, I thought it was like a dry amendment.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I tried using this, but you can't use this in a reservoir. So I foliar fed that for a little while. And I've been using the Remo line, full line for this grow, which I like it. It's really stable in the reservoir and it works well. But at some point, you got to get away from the nitrogen. And that's where in the Remo stuff is super high in nitrogen. So I thought, oh, I'd do the Cali Magic because it's only 100. But somehow when I flipped or whatever, I'm getting that.
How much are you using per gallon?
Like 6 mils per gallon of the
Mm,
Cali.
That's a lot, in my opinion. I would only
Yeah.
put in up to like maybe 3 at the very most per gallon when I was using it.
All right, let me try that. I'll dial that back.
And then are you using just tap water in your reservoir?
No, it's RO water, and then everything
Okay, so you might need to add a little more than I would.
yeah, because that's why I was thinking I was thinking because see I don't see it on like these buds. I don't see that. It's all these fan leaves that are kind of out.
Yes, the old growth. Like I said, you can't really go for because you said you were using a reservoir. I'm not too sure you would be able to. The gypsum might fur up any.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it just froze up on us.
I just oh
Not you, Ice and I,
oh okay. Yeah, I
hopefully.
wanted to pop in and see if you had any thoughts on that because it's something that's like just shown up this week.
Yeah,
So,
that'll just last. That'll just last you out the rest of it.
Ice
I
and I,
had
you
one.
froze up on us, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know
That's
what
all
you were
right.
saying. Jace, what were you saying?
I was going to ask. I had one more question on that V grow because that's one thing I really liked was the ventilation system. How effective is that? Because it's really cool how it's built into the poles there on the side and has those little holes.
yeah. So
I
the
thought,
ventilation is really good actually. It's just the odor control is not the best. So I'm not sure if you've seen it before, but That's the carbon filter up there. And so basically behind that carbon filter is a big computer fan. So it spins, like right now I'm in flower mode. So it spins up almost all the time, to control humidity, because that's what it's really, at this point right now, it's all about humidity. So it's trying to keep the humidity lower. So those fans are pumping full speed all the time. And then it's got another fan down in the bottom that I don't know if you can see it, but there's holes in that,
Mhm.
and the air comes out those holes in the back. The fronts don't have it, but the backs do. So you get ventilation along that rail on both sides on the back, and then you get that top fan that's sucking up and out. So it's getting rid of heat, cooling the light, and running it through that carbon filter all at the same time. So the ventilation, I think, is pretty good. My only complaint is the odors could be better.
That's really cool. How much, if you don't mind me asking, how much are those? Do you guys just
So
like regular
I,
market value?
yeah, I bought them last year. One in February I got a good deal on, and the other three I bought at 420 a piece, and that was with free shipping on 420 sale. I think
Hmm.
it's a little bit less because you could stack the 420 sale because it was on sale for 420, and then you could use their 10% off coupon or whatever. It came out to like less than $400 shipped, so it wasn't terrible.
That's a cool piece of grow tech. I like it.
Yeah, that's a pretty good deal because they're
Like,
$600 right now on their website.
yeah, because
Can you
I'm
stack them?
you mean like vertically put
Like
one on
put one on top of the other one?
So physically, yes, but I think weight distribution wise, no, because they do shake a little. Like
Mhm.
they're sturdy, but it's plastic clips that hold the legs in.
I gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
If you can see those little plastic legs,
So you could, but you shouldn't.
you could easily stack them too high.
Yeah.
Recommended unless like maybe if it's up against a wall, but you can't put the back of it up against a wall. Like I have a space there. The back,
Mm,
everything exhausts. The intake is on the bottom and the exhaust is on the top. So you can't
gotcha.
the wall, but you could push it over against a wall and stack them and maybe just secure it like you would a tall bookshelf or something. But yeah, I mean, if space was constrained, you could do that. But
That's cool,
yeah,
but not recommended.
not
Build a
rec-
frame, maybe build a frame or something. I don't know.
yeah, you could do that if you needed to do that. But anyway, thanks for letting me up, man. I just wanted to ask that question about the Leafs and what's going on there.
Yeah, for sure. I would look at the nutrient line and maybe use a nutrient calculator or something like that to see, just because it's a different line for the Cali Magic. But for in my experience, whatever they say, I cut it in half and then maybe cut it in half again to start and then go up from there. With the RO stuff, maybe you want to look at maybe like 4 milliliters or so per gallon. Try
Okay.
that and see what happens.
Yeah, and I'm making fresh water today, so I'll try that, cut that back, and see how they go for the next week. But okay,
Cool.
thanks, man.
Yeah.
We have some nutrient companies here that actually, on their lines, like we have Ferro is a brand here, and they actually, you can put it. They have different bottles depending on where you're located to match your water. So they have an RO version, then they have regional versions, which is I think is quite cool.
Well, he jumped off before I could say if he wanted to tell anybody where you could find Lobo, but I think he's on Instagram. So yeah,
Yeah, I know. I've
if
seen
you
them on
want,
there.
cool. That's cool.
I've always had calcium issues. Whenever I use RO water, I run
Hmm.
into calcium issues. So I don't like to use RO.
You know what also might work is even just to add a little bit of tap water to the RO water first and then put the nutrients in just to give it something to buffer a little bit, I guess.
Well, I can't remember. There is a thingy. I can't remember what it is. 150 ppm. If you use an RO, try and use your CalMag first to get that to
Mhm.
150 ppm. I think I might be wrong, but I might be right.
Yeah, I would add it first. Definitely. That was something I learned from Smart and Crispy. Shout out to them. I hope they're doing well. But yeah, we're down to the last 5 minutes. I just looked at the clock and was like, oh my God, that went by. So yeah, let's do our final thoughts and shout outs, I guess. Because I got something right after this that I gotta go run to. So yeah. Isana, you want to tell people where they can find you and what's going on with your Instagram accounts and stuff?
Yeah, fuck Instagram. They're removing all my cannabis content. I've got a long list of demands from them at the moment. They want me to remove some of that stuff, and I'm probably just going to give up on it and go to my new channel, ICNE_music. It's not shadow banned. It's easy to find.
Mhm.
I think I've been reported. Haters, you know how it is.
Yeah.
You know, because there wasn't. I've been on there for years, and I never really had a problem. But all of a sudden, yeah, someone's got a bee in their bonnet or whatever, and just reporting the shit out of me. So fuck them.
That sucks.
Later.
Thanks.
Cheers,
Good
everyone.
luck.
Thank you.
Jace, you want to let people know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, OKJX20. Shout out to the Grow Bros in chat. Shout out to the panel and C person. Thanks for hosting again. See you guys next time. Grow or love.
Thanks, Jace. Yeah, great to see both of y'all, and shout out to Lobo for hopping on. Anybody in chat is always welcome to come ask questions or show your grow or anything like that. We love seeing it, and we will always be welcoming. Yeah, that being said, I will be back on Wednesday for sure, but then I don't know about Sunday. Like I said, I was going to be going on this road trip, but yeah, then we'll be back after that to let you know what happened and whether I could convince my mom to try some goth girl with me. It's going to be fun. So cheers to everybody in chat. It's awesome to see everybody. We love you very much, and I honestly wouldn't be doing this if there was nobody chatting it up in there. So yeah, cheers to everybody. I will be in chat myself over at the Cheap Home Grow show tonight on or the Growing with My Fellow Growers on Cheap Home Grow channel on YouTube, which is at 7 Eastern, with Jack Greenstock and all those guys. So I'll see everybody in chat over there. Grow or love. Have a great rest of your weekend.